Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We have some big news to cover here today on the Paycheck Protection Program, PPP, and news and information on that deadline extension that everybody's been talking about, okay? Big things are coming this week in Congress, possibly next week. We want to cover all that and more, okay? Today's March the 15th. Happy Monday, everybody. I hope you are starting your week off well. Sun is shining outside, and it's spring in the air, right? This is your daily stimulus report on your first, second, and your third stimulus check, where we talk about economic injury disaster loans, EIDL, the grants, Paycheck Protection Program, PPP. We're going to zoom in on PPP for this video because we have some urgent updates we want to talk about. Let's get into it. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Edward Bilder. To all my loyal subscribers out there, welcome back for another video. And if you're joining us for the first time today, welcome. Consider becoming a subscriber. I'm going to dive straight into PPP on this video because that deadline is getting closer and closer. We're facing a cliff here. March 31st, that is the deadline to file your application with a lender and make sure that it still has to reach the SBA, okay? So lenders are shutting down everywhere right now, stopping applications from going through because they feel like they can't process them in enough time, okay? So first, let's talk about some backstory because there is a deadline extension that's going to be voted on here, and I want to give you all the updates on that, but let me talk about the backstory here first for some context. All right, so back in February, end of February, President Biden comes on air to make this big public announcement that he found the rules. They must have fell off the edge of the desk here and got swept behind a filing cabinet or something on the Paycheck Protection Program for Schedule C filers. And this brought a big rule change. The big rule change was if you filed before this announcement, you had to file using your net income. That is the small number at the bottom of your Schedule C after you take all of your expenses out. He announced that the new rules are to now use your gross income, line 7, like Schedule F filers use at the top of the form, okay? You can follow these videos. It'll give you more detail of that if you want more backstory and understand that, man, this opens up eligibility like huge, right? It's like 4 to 6x now the amount of money that you could possibly get. And everybody who was once negative, right, in the negative at net, you guys are now open to have the eligibility here because you could go off your gross, line 7. Mass chaos. This just created mass chaos everywhere, okay? People are rushing to get their applications in. People are screaming, I already got my funds with net. What do I do? A lot of problems are happening with the Paycheck Protection Program right now. So this urged 10 of the biggest banks out there that are filing for PPP loans through the borrowers, sending them to the SBA. They reached out to Congress and said, look, we need an urgent extension of this deadline. March 31st is not enough time for everybody out there who just learned that you can now use gross income. That month of time is not enough time, okay? Fast forward a little bit, the PPPLF, the Federal Reserve, they extended their deadline. This is the availability of money so that the SBA can go and grab money, okay? They extended their deadline out to June 30th. Now, the deadline for the extension is going to be a little bit different. We're going to talk about that here in just a second. And it's currently still today at March 31st. So if you haven't already done so and you're applying for the first time and you can get in there with gross, go get it started now, okay? There's no reason that you have to wait, all right? If you have a net application out there now, this is where you got to ask yourself a question if you want to wait and see if it's going to be extended because you may be able to retract it and send it back. We're going to talk about all that here coming up. The program so far brought 2.6 million applicants, roughly about $184 billion. That was the last time I checked. Of the available $264 billion in the overall fund. So there's lots of funds left here, all right? So let's talk about that extension. So before we start talking about the deadline extensions, I don't want to create any confusion here, okay? Because the current deadline is still set for the applications at March 31st. That ends here in like 2 weeks, okay? Now, the extension that I'm talking about is going to be voted on, all right? And it's going to have some new deadlines. It's not the full 90 days. We're going to get into all that right now. And it's actually interesting because both Congress from the Senate side and the House side set up their own bill, okay? They basically constructed these companion bills and it has a lot of bipartisan support in it, okay? So the House made their own bill and the Senate made their own bill and they seem to be the same bill, okay? So the new proposed date for applications, this is a proposed date, it has to get voted on, will be for May 31st, okay? May 31st, not June 30th. Now, June 30th is still important because it will give the SBA 30 days after May 31st to continue to process applications. So that means you will need to have your application reach the SBA by May 31st, and then they have 30 days following that to get yourself the funds, okay? They could keep processing applications until the fund reaches you within the 30 days, okay? Now, we have to follow Congress very closely on this, okay? There are a couple major cliffs coming up on their calendar that we have to pay attention to. I went out and I checked the House's calendar. It's public information. You can go check their calendar. I don't see anything this week to vote on PPP, and I didn't see anything next week to vote on PPP. You know, maybe it's hidden in there somewhere and it's hidden in under some other hearing or something, but I didn't see anything, okay? And Political made this announcement about this deadline extension. So it seems like it's going to be an accurate source that this is going to happen. I have not seen the text of the bill yet either, okay? So we have to pay close attention to Congress. This might sneak up on us and surprise us. The House, 3-week recess, March 26th. So that is a huge cliff. We got to make sure that we get this thing done before March 26th because it'll be outside the extension. There'll be a gap in time for the application process. And this really seems to line up pretty well with what the Federal Reserve did. They basically said, we'll push this out to June 30th. We'll keep giving you money. You can keep processing applications. Cut the deadline short so you don't have anybody left in limbo after the program, closes. I think it's a good move, all right? So stay with us here on the channel. I do a ton of research on this so that you guys don't have to, right? And if you like and appreciate what we're doing, tap the old like button. Every time you touch that like button, you're helping YouTube spread this message and recommend it to more and more people who really need to hear it, okay? You could also share us on your Facebook and your Twitter. Just copy the title and just pop it into Facebook or Twitter. Thank you guys so much. Everybody out there keeps asking, what are we going to do about net, right? Let's just say, for an example, I applied, I got my funds, and it was under net. Well, the SBA right now is telling us we can't make any adjustments. And I think that's total BS. I think they are wrong in saying this, okay? Because they allowed Schedule F farmers to do it, and Schedule C is supposed to align with exactly what Schedule F farmers are doing, okay? They allowed them to make the adjustment if they got net to gross, and the only thing that stopped them is if they had forgiveness filed, okay? Check out a video on why filing for forgiveness may not help you, okay? But we're going to need to start tagging all of our senators and letting them know, if they're going to be voting on a bill here in the next 2 weeks, that text better include something that tells the SBA, hey, we're really upset about this. You are not allowing us to make the adjustment from net to gross, and we want to change. We want this changed in Congress. So start tagging all of your senators, start tagging all of your representatives of your state, and get the message out there that we want them to make sure that they include some kind of amendment process to go back and retroactively adjust your net to your gross income, okay? We're going to need everybody's help on this channel, so share this with all of your friends. We're going to need thousands of you to text, to message your Congress people, okay? So start spreading the message now. I'm going to make videos on this every single day so that we get the message out there and it reaches people. All right. Remember, leaving a comment enrolls you into my next giveaway. When I hit 20,000 subscribers, I am picking a lucky comment from one of my subscribers to send $500 to. I just did this last Saturday. Gave $500 to a family who truly needed it. It was a great moment for them. I picked a random comment, and it really made their day, okay? So if you have trouble figuring out what to leave a comment on, just tell us where you are in the PPP process. Let us know if you're in draw 1, draw 2, if you've been funded, who you applied with, and let us know if they're taking gross income or not so we can help out all the viewers on our channel. So everybody, the next step is up to you, okay? Take some of this stimulus money and get out there and start investing in your future, okay? Start a business, right? I'm constantly looking for partners in my B&B businesses, my short-term rental businesses. You could find me in the description on Instagram if you want to talk about that into more detail. Or you can get out there and start investing. Right now in the description, you could check out Webull and BlockFi. Webull wants to give you 2 free stocks valued up to $1,850. That's $1,850 now, okay? After you deposit $100 into the platform. And BlockFi, if you deposit anywhere between $50 and $250 to secure your cryptocurrency, you can earn like 8.6% on that. Pretty awesome. That's like huge. I actually use both of these platforms each and every day. Webull's kind of interesting. They'll let you play these games. Check this out. I got this game. I get to spin the wheel. I just basically invited friends and I got a chance to spin the wheel. And look at that. I just won free stocks. And the other day, I won this. $262 worth of free Facebook stocks. Pretty awesome, okay? If you need further assistance outside of my free content on any of your business ideas or anything that we're talking about on this channel, you could find me for a one-on-one session. You can set up a call. I'll be pinned in the top comment, or you could find me in the description. I thank you all again, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.